Hey Stamp friends, welcome to the Joy Stamp with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon, and today I'm sharing with you my January card class club using 2 stamp sets. So you're going to choose which one works best for you, or which one's your favorite, or just maybe with the occasion that you're making these cards for. This is a class featuring the Link Together masks, which are new in the mini catalog. It came out this month in January. And I have over my blog a list of all of the supplies that you need to make these cards. Also, if you want the PDF, full PDF, and you're not part of my club, there's a place to email me below and you can get more information about how to order the PDF for me anytime between now and the end of the catalog. So be sure to reach out to me. There's so much value to this class. It's usually just a $35 class. You get $20 worth of supplies, and you just have to register for it in the month by the 10th. So this one's been really fun. Let me show you the Link Together. This is the stamp set that goes with the bundle, which is the dies and the mask. And that's what the cards I have underneath here will show. And then this is the stamp set I'm actually going to use, the Hearts of Elegance. I wanted to show another way to use Valentine's Day cards using the same layout, same measurements, same color scheme, and just changing up the words. And I want you guys to think of that when you see things in the catalog, you're like, oh, I love that. How can I pair it with something else? And this is one of the fun ways you can do that. Let me show you each card real quick, and then we'll get started. This is the Wishing You the Best card that features more of a really cool masking technique with 3 colors. This one uses just one mask, but features a lot of those linked together dies. This one, we pull out the Hearts of Elegance dies, and we have 2 of those hearts in this one, and a little bit of masking on this piece and some masking on that heart. And our last one is a fun fold that we have masking on the outside of it that we've again used those dies. Let me go ahead and show you what those dies actually look like, and so you can see the amazing value. All right. Right here, these are the linked together dies. I have die cut them all out so you can actually see the size and shape of them. They have this really cool, I want to say this is like a rhombus, or if you turn it, it looks like a kite shape, you know, like a diamond. We have the oval, some awesome leaves here or branches. We have 2 flowers, and these I put them side by side because it's one die cuts out 2 at a time. This is one die that cuts out 4 flowers at once, which is a time saver. And then we have this cool lattice, kind of like a fence or chicken wire look of a die cut as well. I want you also to notice that the dies here with the shapes have all the little stitching around it. So that is an extra detail that makes this set really, really fun. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this card, but we will be changing up the saying. On the PDF, it tells you which one you can choose from. And sometimes with these ones, it's hard to know, but you can choose whatever you want, honestly. All right, let's grab the papers for this one. If you're a card member, you're gonna make sure, a club member, you need to take out the basic white for this one. Go ahead and grab your bone folder to get that nice and crisp for our card base. And then we're going to set that aside. We'll set our die lattice aside for a minute, and we will need our basic white rectangle and a strip of paper. Let's go ahead and grab our foam mat and our printer paper. That's what I have underneath here just to keep my foam mat nice and clean. And let's do the stamping of our words first. So I'm choosing to do Sending Lots of Love. So this one right here. And let me get that one. This one has 2 lines of words, as you see. And what we want to do, though, is that we want to just separate the colors. So I'm using our in colors for the year, which they came out, last May. But I feel like they haven't got a lot of love lately. Usually after Christmas, you don't get to see a lot of the new fun colors, so I thought I brought them back. But the beauty of this PDF for this class is that you can switch up your colors however you want. This card especially, since it has a basic white base, if you don't have the 3 colors that I'm using, you can switch it up and use any colors that you have or like. All right, let me put that up. So peach pie is my first color I'm going to use. And for this one, we're just going to open it up, our ink, and then you can either stamp a little bit, so like just the one saying that we want, or you can stamp the whole thing and just fussy cut the thing out. So it's up to you, the method you like to use. I usually will try to do a partial stamp. So by me just going, let me see if we can show this to you at a better angle. I just put the sending on the ink, and I didn't even have the lots of love there. So that makes it easier for me to stamp just that part. Like so. And I'm not too worried that I have extra spots there because I'm going to fussy cut this out or cut it in a straight line. So I'm not too worried. Then I clean it off and I go on to the next color. I'm going to set this ink aside because we'll use it just a minute to mask with. Then the next word will be the lots of, or just lots and of love. So this one you need to pick which way you want to do it. This one I'll do a full on coloring because I need that whole bottom. Do a quick practice. Nice. We'll do the lots of love right there. Perfect. And then we're going to wipe it clean and grab our next color. Again, place my ink to the side. We're going to use that again in just a minute. And then I use the Summer Splash as my last color in this one. And we'll get that. And again, you can use that cool technique where you're just stamping that bottom by going on the edge of the ink pad. Or you can stamp the whole thing and just cut what you need. All right, that's looking pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and do some fussy cutting then. Let's get these out. And it's up to you if you want them to be bubbled lettered or straight line. I'm going to try and do more of a straight line. So I'm just going to go right underneath our word here, the sending, and just cut straight through it, trimming it to fit the size and letters. Carefully set that down. Don't lose that little sending. And then I decide, do I want it to be lots and then of love be my bottom one? Probably, since that's kind of have my spacing here, a long word, small word, and long again. So I'm going to go here with my lots and just cut this one out. Again, I'm trying to do more of a straight cut with my paper snips, which is a fancy word for scissors. Sending lots of love. No, Stampin' UP scissors, paper snips, are such a high quality that you almost can't call them just scissors. All right, now we're just going for the of love. And we'll do a straight cut here. It's a little bit tricky when the words have tall letters and short letters. So this one's a little bit thicker than the other two, but that still looks really awesome. All right. Let's go ahead and do our masking now. So I'm going to grab that piece of basic white rectangle and the mask. And how do you know which mask to use? Because I can kind of describe this. But since we have 3 different masks, like very similar but just different widths, it's nice that at this notch right here, let me get close so you can see there's a number 3. That's how you know and I know which mask I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and place it on top of the rectangle here. And it's up to you where you want it. I'm going to have it so that way I have it in kind of the middle. So I know that there's not going to be any edges not being used or seen. And for this one, I honestly can take out my foam mat and we're going to grab a way to secure this. You could use your hands and that would totally work. I have a one-sided piece of Post-it note that's adhesive all over. So I'm just gonna kind of secure it down like so. And similar to this one, I'm just gonna hold it down here. And then mostly I'll also be able to just hold it with my hands. That just kind of keeps it a little bit more secure because we're gonna use blending brushes and it's gonna kind of shimmy and shake this. My tip to you is go from the top color to the bottom or bottom to top. Mostly we just want some blending abilities here. And now that I have it secure, I'm gonna shimmy it up my glass mat so you can see the bottom here. All right, so I'm Peach Pie was my first choice. Here's my blending brush. You can tell it's well loved. I've used it a lot. I'm gonna ink it up, and then I'm actually going to dab off. So ink, and then on my excess paper here, I'm gonna take off a little bit because I don't want harsh lines. All right, I'm gonna go to the top 3. So 1, 2, well, 1, little 2 will be about the spacing I'm gonna want for this coloring here with my blending brush. It gives you a reference, probably about 1.5 inches down. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And the more you ink it, the darker it will be. So if you want to do another layer of that color, feel free to ink it up and do it again. That, I'm gonna call it good. I kind of like this looking like the sunset look, and it's very light and ombre. It's just beautiful. We're gonna go on to our next one, which is a pretty pink. And we're gonna grab our blending brush that has already been used for pretty pink, so you can tell. Dab it in there, dab off. See how bright that is? I don't want those harsh lines, so I always do a dab off. And then I'm going again, go to the about 3 lines worth. And I'm also going to do some overlapping. I want to form a whole new color by having some of it go over. I don't want any white space for the places that we've inked. Kind of like that. Again, getting those 3. I'm going to go a little bit on the tops here of those guys, or I'll meet. And that should be the end of that color. You can kind of already see how it's forming. It's looking really cool. Then we have the Summer Splash, which is like that lighter blue color. We'll grab its blending brush and we'll ink it up. Do a little wipe. That one's not too dark, so I'm going to press a little harder in my ink, do a wipe off, and then start our blend. Oh, it's looking good. Okay. Again, make sure you go overlap those 2 colors, and it forms like a purple, blue and pink. You have a nice looking purple here. If you want it a little bit darker, do a little bit more on the darker end at the bottom. Super pretty though. All right, let's put the ink away and then we will show you how that turned out. I'm gonna set these aside. We'll use them again in just a minute for our next masking. And Stampin' Up's been using masks for a couple years now, and there've been lots of different styles. I am loving this style that it's more of a, some of them were like overlapping flowers and you build a whole scene. This one's more of awesome background looks. Oh my goodness, that turned out amazing. Look at that color there. And look at that beautiful white space from the mask. Lovely. This would be great even on colored cardstock, and just make sure you're using different or darker colors. I love that. So fun. Okay. If you're going to reuse this mask for any of our next ones, make sure you just do a light wipe down. I just use a reusable wipe. You could put underneath your whole sink, and then like a paper towel or a dry cloth to let it dry. I'm going to wipe it down now, so just in case we use it again, I haven't forgotten, and set that aside. All right, let's go ahead and assemble. What we need to do is to glue on our amazing die cut piece. And if I was smart, I would have used Stampin' Up's sticker sheets or adhesive back sheets, and I would have just created a whole sticker out of this. But I want to show you how you just do dots. I usually do the whole outline of our shape, this rectangle. Just lightly with the liquid glue. And then we'll just do some random dots. Our words we're going to have on here will help press this down. So it's okay if we don't dot every single intersection of our lattice here. But that looks pretty good. Flip it over. Carefully lay it on top. Let me grab it so you can work on it with shimmying it. The nice thing about the liquid glue is that it does allow me to move it after I place it. If you feel like your rectangle is too big, you could take your paper snips and just trim it down a little bit. Look how cool that looks. Oh my goodness. Just really makes it pop, right? I'm loving that. All right, let's grab some dimensionals on the back of this and dimensionals on the back of our words. And then we just need to embellish. So we'll put one in each corner. I'm gonna go ahead and put them, since it's a rectangle, we'll go corners, corners, and middle. If you want to be extra secure, you'd add 2 more in here and more in that center. I'm not too worried. Okay. Dimensionals are all ready on this guy. Try to get it in the center and have it straight. That's my trickiest part, is keeping it straight. There we go. Flip over our words. And I've used some dimensionals that have been cut on the outer edge to make it a little more skinny, because these words are just tiny. This one I could probably get away with having more than one. And definitely this guy could have a full-on dimensional, but we'll just use these little extras for it as well. Then we're gonna remove the backing and place our sending right above, right below that peach pie. We'll do our lots here in the middle. And you can play with this placement before you remove the backings, just to see where you want it to be. Of love. Sending lots of love. So cute. I'm loving the way that looks. And lastly, we just need to do our embellishing, which we are using the amazing antique pearls. These are great, again, because they are so versatile. I can use these on so many things because it has a color that's more neutral, but still is really, really fun. I like that they are a flat pearl instead of like a super rounded pearl for easier shipping. I'm gonna take a large one and set it down here below our of love. And then we're gonna do, there's 3 sizes, so large, medium, small. I'm gonna take the medium one right above the large in the center here. And I like to use my paper snips just to help me pick them up. And I'm gonna put that one to the top here and have that smallest one to come down at an angle from below that medium one. And there you go. There's our sending lots of love, or our wishing you the best card, depending on what stamp set you choose to use. All right, let's go ahead and put that aside. We'll go on to our next card, which is going to be our Pretty in Pink. We'll get that one back out. This one, we're going to use some masking directly on the card base, but we're doing a 2-step masking. So this one will be lots of fun and just show a little bit of a different technique. We'll move it, our glass plate back in view now that we have some space. And let's grab our card base for this one. All right, so this one has that Pretty in Pink card base. I've die cut some of those awesome shapes that we're gonna use in just a minute. And I did go ahead and already heat embossed my greeting. And this greeting, you can choose a lot from both stamp sets. I'm doing the Happy Valentine's Day, which is the one I've heat embossed already. We'll use that one for this one. But how do you know what will fit in that oval? So my tip to you is to grab the die and say, okay, my Happy Valentine's Day is within my oval. That will totally work. My Heart Belongs to You would work. Love You works just barely, as that almost could have came off. The Sending Lots of Love would work. The Be Mine would work. So there's lots of fun ways to use this stamp set and the oval that matches that right size. And that's how I like to do it, just to hold it over it to know without having to stamp and see. All right, here is our awesome card base. I'm gonna grab our piece of paper underneath it real quick. So we'll be good to do our masking. And we're gonna start with the, I like to call it like the arrow mask. This one is number 4. And we're going to have it attached going with our arrows pointing down. We're going to put it right on our card base. Line it up wherever you want. You can see through these masks, which is pretty nice. I have my score line up here, and then you can see the bottom. So it kind of has an outline. If you want it to have go all the way to that score line, just shimmy it on up. It just depends on where you want it. I'm going to go ahead and place this down here in the top, and one more here on the side, just to help keep it a little secure for when we get ready to do this masking. We're going to grab our pretty and pink ink, and we will, let me go ahead and push this back up. There we go. We want to see everything. Pretty and pink ink. And we're going to ink it up with our blending brush again, the same one we just used. Again, we're going to tap, tap, tap into the ink, do a little swipe off, and then just start from top to bottom. And this one I will have to ink up more than once because it is such a large space. Okay, ink it up again, go to the middle. And just depending on how dark you want this to be, or if you want it to be kind of like an ombre look, it can be the lighter the hand you go, the lower you go. Totally up to you. Okay, I'll do one more at the bottom, the tap off, and filling in these cute little arrows. It's really hard to see the color you've added until you lift up the mask. And then it's like this magical moment. You're like, oh my goodness, that looks amazing. Okay. We think that looks pretty good. We can remove it. We put that ink away. Put our little Post-it notes over. This one I do know I'm going to use again. Oh, that looks amazing. Really, really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and do my quick wipe down so I don't forget, because we're going to use this one for our next card as well. I'm just using a reusable wipe. You can use a baby wipe if you want, whatever, or you can clean it off even in your sink. There will be potential staining to this depending on what ink color you use. I like to make sure that you just ink it off or rub it off right away so to kind of avoid super dark stains, but the stains don't transfer, so you're totally okay if you see it and you're like, oh no, that's not what I wanted to have happen. All right, now we're going to use number 5. This is one of my favorite masks in the set, and we are going to carefully place it on top of our already masked card base here, and we're going to use a white ink. So the fun thing is we're going to look at it and see where we think it should be. I like to have it facing up. I feel like the notch is on the left side. So we're going to look through. I want to be able to have the overlapping of that arrow. Kind of like so. All right. It's hard to see on here, but I can see through the mask to know where I should be getting my white. This is our craft white ink. It is pretty amazing. I'm going to grab my blending brush. This, however, though, takes a while to dry. So we want to make sure that we're not touching our card base too much right after. In fact, we might have to come back to this. Go just over each one of these little spots. I'm not even tapping this one off. You'll notice it's like, it feels like it's thick even. Kind of like a paste. And since it's the white mask with white, it's hard to see exactly where you go. So kind of like how you mow a lawn. You want to start at a section and then go to the next row just to make sure it's getting the whole space. Oh, and I'm keep on going down. Sorry. A lot of movement here. think we did pretty good. Should we lift it up and check? Okay, moment of truth, right? And it's okay if it's not super dark. Let's grab those two off. Let's see. Ooh, that turned out actually really nice. You see how that has the two over it? That is really pretty. We have a little bit on the ink and a little bit on the cardstock as well. Really gradual, and what a great background. Again, this can be used on any color, and I suggest using the darker color. Well, with this one, white is the darker color that shows on top. But if I wanted to do a light color for the arrows and then have like a darker color with those cool little flower dots, that would be the other method you could use for this one. All right, we're gonna set this aside to let it dry, and we're gonna grab in the next thing we need to mask with that same white one because we want some dry time for it, which is from another card. So this is a die cut of our heart from the Hearts of Elegance. Let me grab those dies out so I can show you these amazing die sets. I almost didn't get them because I'm like, I have heart dies. Do I need more heart dies? Yes, I always need more heart dies. I love this one that we'll use as well that has the embossing on it. We're using this medium-sized heart right now. There's a large heart and then small and then another cute little dotted heart. And then check out these ones. Amazing and huge hearts here. Perfect for Valentine's Day, perfect for anniversaries. These dies here are part of the images. So we have that fun little flower we could die cut out and those two little leaves. And of course, that one's from our die of the flower as well. So lots of fun with this one. And let's go ahead and do our masking again, but we're gonna do it on our heart here, which I love this idea of just doing a shape, a die cut image, and not the whole thing as background. Sometimes they're like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna use this I don't need a background for this one. But you could totally just use it for the die cut shapes. All right, grabbing our ink back in, give it a nice rub, holding this down pretty tight because we don't want this to move. This one I thought was more of the wow factor because of how dark our cardstock is, and that white I thought just popped off so nicely. Okay, let's see if that looks good. Put my ink away so I don't make inky messes. You can already see like my hands will get just covered in that white ink. Okay, put those aside. And oh yeah, look how pretty that is. Let me bring this up so you can see. So pretty. We'll set that aside to dry, and hopefully now our background one should be ready to go. Let's go ahead and put that in and add our pieces to it. Grabbing this back in so we can see. All right, grab your bone folder and crease that card base. We want to use our Happy Valentine's Day, which we use our heat emboss for. We're gonna put some dimensionals on here, but I'm gonna keep my dimensionals mostly in the middle because I want to be sliding some things in, kind of with the option to go underneath there. And the fun thing about these kits is that you can place these wherever you want. I have it more of the top center. But if you want it to be lower or higher or in a corner, move this oval wherever you want. And let's grab these dyed ones and some glue dots. All right, we're gonna attach our cute little pretty pink vines first. Again, if I was clever, I would have used my sticker sheets and make these into stickers, and then just would be a peel off the backing and stick it on. But we're gonna use old-fashioned liquid glue, and I'll show you just the dot method. So I'm going to do dots to my center here, go to a couple of my leaves, mostly our ends, center, and then the rest will be fine. So top, bottom, in the middle. There we go. Okay, carefully flip them over. You would want to play with this before. Luckily, I did some playing, so I know, but I'm going to start with my smaller one on top for the sake of knowing the space that I need. So I'm going to place this one, so he's right about here on the left side of the oval. And I'm going to grab my other one, the longer one, and I'm going to have them meet together right here, but you kind of still see where my vine's coming down, and just press firmly so that adhesive we put on there will stick. And where they attach together, we'll cover that up with our awesome flowers we're going to use. Okay, grab those flowers and your glue dots and figure out what design you want. I did kind of a one of each. So my glue dot here, put that on the center, press it down, peel it off, attach it to my white one over here, and you want to be able to turn it so that way the petals are in between, like that. Grab another glue dot, right there, we're gonna stick it and peel it and put it where those guys meet. If you want, before you stick it, you can kind of play with these a little bit and make it come up more. There we go, cute. And then we have a fun combo over here where we have a white and pink, and I have it reversed on each one. So one of them has the white on top, one has the pink on top. It's up to you how you want, if you want to have them matching more. So this one I'm gonna put the white on top of the pink. Again, I'm going to line it up so that way they're not overlapping, but they're in the windows of each other. And you can kind of turn it a little bit once it's there. Once you stick it, it's pretty good and down. Then we're going to have the pink one on top. And we're going to place it there in that center. Grab your glue dots. And now we could stick it to the card. So we'll do 1 and 2. We'll place this guy up here kind of higher than our other one, making it a triangle shape. For some reason, our eyes just are drawn to when things are not balanced. It makes them feel nicer or happier, I guess. This one's turning out way cute. I'm loving this one. I like this one, but I think I love this one, the Happy Valentine's Day. Really cute. We just need to put these embellishments in our flowers, and I did one of each. So I did a large one of these pearls and this main guy here, our solid white. Then I did a small one for the top flower. Again, using my paper snips to help me picking it up, and then the medium size one for that bottom guy. So cute. Check that out. Happy Valentine's Day, which is just around the corner. It's crazy how fast January has gone. All right, let's go ahead and set those ones aside. Let's go on to our next card, which we already did a little bit of prep work for. It was the fun Summer Splash and Shy Shamrock. We'll grab that card base out, and we'll have our heart that we already did our masking for. And now we just need to mask the Summer Splash piece of cardstock. So let's grab our basic white back in, or our printer sheet here, and we're going to go horizontal. Our last card was more vertical. This guy here has the arrows are going down. These ones are going to go from left to right or right to left, depending on which way you want. We're going to set this guy right here. And if you want, so if you notice, this is wider, smaller. So my paper is wider than this is, the mask itself. If you wanted to trim this down so it's more to true size, it'd be more of like a 3 3/4 by a 5 versus the piece I have here. but I kind of like it having that framing of the nothing ink as on there as well. So it's just up to you how you want it to look. All right, let's grab some of this Post-it note, see if I can't get this to stick for me still without getting it to move. We'll see. Okay, then let's grab our Summer Splash ink and our blending brush for that one. Summer Splash, remember, it's more of a blue color versus the Shy Shamrock, which is more of a green. They're very similar, so that's the tricky part. This one, I try to do a little bit more ombre. So I'm doing a rub off. We'll do a dab, and then I want to be really dark on this left side. And I'm just gonna put my hand here to help keep it still. Really dark. I didn't even tap off that time. Okay. We'll go dark one more time at the next step, and then we're going to start to gradually go down. This one will definitely do a stamp off. Having it going a little bit lighter. Still in that middle, and we're working our way back down. Just as light as I can go, but still being able to see it. Going to that middle, bringing this color in. Okay, let's see how we did. Again, it's always so hard to see until we do like the final reveal. Let me remove the mask. Let me go over just lightly again, just to make sure I got all those spots. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, that turned out really nice. Kind of looks scaly, like a fish or a snake. Really cool. Very dark to our gradual, almost fading out on this side. Really, really cool. All right. This way it makes it almost look more like diamonds even instead of arrows from this direction. Really fun. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is stamp our greeting and then bubble fussy cut it out. So that's why I kept my ink out. We'll set this aside. And we're going to get the greeting for this one, which again, I've changed it up. And I'm going to use the giant Love You for this one. This big guy here. If you are concerned about your bubble cutting, you can stamp this twice on a piece of paper and then cut it out that way just to make sure that you're good to go. I'm going to do a practice stamp because I have not used this stamp before. My first time. Oh, he's pretty. That's a good one. Okay. And get up again. Place it on our basic white and press down, lift up. Nice. I'm going to add an extra U just in case my fussy cutting isn't the best. I have an option. Okay. Actually, my U, I wiggled on that one. Let me do one more U. One more U. I'll make sure I'm not, we'll go right here. There we go. That looks better. Okay. Now we're going to fussy cut this out bubble style, which means we just are going to be round with our edges. Let me put this in. I'm going to cut off this extra real quick so it's not so big and bulky to hold on to. And then we're going to come around our U and round it by coming into each letter. Versus before we were doing a straight cut, which you almost could do with this U. I feel like it's very uniformed. And we're going to come around our edge here and have it nice and rounded. Okay, there's our tiny little U. Let's grab our giant love and come around it as close as we can, forming rounded cuts to it. Instead of straight cuts, straight lines, coming up to our love and our E right here. I'm in first grade again. I work at an elementary school during the day, and I'm helping in a first grade class now. And we have to fuss. We have to cut out things all the time. That's part of a skill you have to learn when you're little. And it was fun that I was able to tell the little 6-year-olds, we move the paper, we don't move the scissors. And how much easier it was. They were trying to cut out their little hand shapes for a project. And hands can be hard when you have to go in deep and have not very much space to cut around. So I was impressed with some of their skills there. But yeah, definitely the tip is my scissors always stay facing one direction and my paper is what I move around. I saw some kids like trying to cut down like this and I'm like, oh, that's not gonna be good. There we go. Our love on you. Okay, now let's go ahead and start our assembling. I went ahead and I just liquid glue this down. Let's grab our bone folder for our card base. Make sure it's nice and flat. I like working on flat surfaces and not rough surfaces. There we go, some liquid glue. And place it here. See, aren't those colors so similar? You can barely tell the difference, but until you get close and you see them. This one, I wanted to make with a guy in mind. Like we just did a pretty pink one, but I don't know about you, but I give my Valentines usually out to my husband. And so I was like, we need more of a guy color. So we got the greens and the blues, and they work out fabulous here. All right, we need to put some dimensionals on the back of our hearts. And for this heart, we can put dimensionals on the whole back. On our embossed heart, I only want dimensionals on the top right, top bottom, nothing on the left. Since we're gonna overlap them, we don't want it to be in a spot that won't allow it to lay nicely. So dimensionals on the back here. Here's the spot the top that we'll put it on, and the bottom. Flip over our love. And you can use either some of those smaller dimensionals with this one that we've cut from the edges. Definitely for our U, we'll need that. So we'll grab this tiny dimensional here and turn them around. There we go. And then we could probably put another tiny one on top of our L here. And this one. And all I did to make these is I took my paper snips, you can see with this little fringe, and I just cut it while it's on the sheet still. Okay. That should be it for our dimensionals. We're going to go ahead and glue or put these on. Play with where you want it first. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to go top, center, left for this one. And this one's going to go just a little bit lower down. So this is on my right side here. He's going to go a little bit lower, but still overlapping. If you wanted to secure that a little bit more, put a little bit of liquid glue or a glue dot right underneath that one, or leave it as is, and the pressure of our letters will help keep it down. Okay, let's attach our love. I probably should play with this first, but we're just going to wing it. We're going to go love here on our heart. That's kind of in the center. And then our U, we're going to have it go below and just off to the side a little bit. Love you. Oh my goodness. I'm loving this one. This is turning out so cute. This is the fun part of using 2 different stamp sets, which you never would have imagined. And then we just need to add our cute little branches and do some embellishing. Okay. Again, we're going to do the dot method. Top, bottom, middle, middle. There's that guy. Top. Oh, sorry, that was bottom. Top, middle, middle, top. Okay. The longer one's going to the right because he has a little bit more space there. And we're going to just kind of slide him underneath and have it coming up to this corner. Nice. This one we're also going to slide underneath, but he'll be underneath our love heart and kind of coming off to the side here. We're trying to make it look like he's going through like the arrow would. Oh, there. He got stuck to my hand. Let me slide him back under. There we go. and press down. So cute. I'm loving this one. Grab our embellishments. This one we're going to use five of the amazing antique pearls. And grabbing my paper snips to help me grab. Okay, I'm going the largest one on our embossed heart right here. Then we're going to go middle and small for our outer branches. So we're going to go middle. And he's going to come over to the side of the branch. And then our small one's going to be on the actual branch itself, but at an angle above. Middle. We're going to put it in between where the branches are. Right there. And then the small guy is going to come here at the bottom of our branch. Okay, let's get this close up so you can see. Oh, pretty. I love that one. So either enjoy a lifetime of love. That'd be great for like a wedding card. And this one would be perfect for Valentine's Day. I'm just saying, or to an anniversary of someone that you love. So cute. All right, on to our last one. I usually try to include a fun fold, so I made sure to get one in for you guys as well. This one says just a note, and it is a gate fold. This one has nothing inside. Yours, I gave you a piece of basic white that you can stamp on there as well. We'll set that to the side and grab the pieces that we're gonna need. All right, so your kit should look like this. This is the petunia pop. We have some cute little flowers that we have. I have that oval that we'll stamp on, and that kite shape or a rhombus shape that we are turning to make our fun fold awesome. And then we have our card base. Our card base has 2 score lines, and I'm actually going to tell you this one. Usually I don't tell you measurements because I want you to get it off the PDF, but I went 2 3/4 on one side in my paper trimmer, and then I turned it and I did 2 3/4 in the inside on the other side. And then we have this center spot, which will be perfect for putting our basic white in later. Okay, we are going to crease this one right away. So we want it to close on us. And you'll notice there could potentially be a little gap in your card. And we don't want, when we are masking, for that gap to show the ink. So we're gonna put a piece. Oh, actually, I need to have a full piece here. I made it the size of my basic white, but I need it to be this size so that way it won't go through. Okay, then we're gonna grab our mask. This is a 2-step masking. And let me grab my PDF to make sure I did not. We're gonna do mask number 1 first. So here's our number 1. He's more of a smaller lattice shape here. And we're going to hold him over here on our card front like so. We're going to grab our Post notes again to help secure it down. Okay, and we're going to grab that petunia pop. I'm going to show you, see how this one kind of has a little bit of staining, which is normal, and it's non-transferable. So that's because I used this one earlier. All right, grab our petunia pop ink with its matching brush, like so. And I do need to grab, there we go, our piece of printer paper back so I can do some dabbing off. Okay, do a tap off, see how dark that is without tapping. Press down on your mask and start rubbing. Just going through. I'm going to do this one fairly dark. I mean, this is purple, so it's a darker shade anyway. But we're creating some really fun lines here. We'll do some tapping off, coming back. Sorry, I know I'm crossing my arm over to get to my ink. I probably should have had it closer to where I'm masking next time. Okay, When it looks about as dark as you want it to be, I think a little darker on this top, we will remove the mask and then grab the next one. Okay, carefully take these off. Keeping that inside in there. Looks amazing like that. I could stop there and call it good. But if you wanted an extra layer, you would add the number 2 mask, and you're going to line it up wherever you want on here. I like to have it so that way it covers up all of those white lines we already did. And you'll see why in just a minute. And then we'll add our Post-it notes to help us secure it. And I'm going to go over this again with that same color. Oh, remember I said we're going to move it here though. There we go. And hold the mask down with your hand, giving that pressure. And we're going to go over it again. Going a little bit darker this time. Make sure we go all over. Okay, when it looks as good as you think it's gonna get, we can stop. Call it good. You can take it off and try to line it back up, but it is kind of tricky. So the big reveal usually is the end of it. Okay, ooh, yeah. Look how cool that looks. We have that, that's why we started with that skinny line first as our white one. And we kept it, but then we had an extra layer we added with that second masking. Doesn't that look, it almost looks like it's 3D now. I just think that's such a cool, fun look. And it can be used with multiple colors. I like using that same color so you can see the big difference, but I just love the way that turned out. Okay, now we just need to stamp our greeting on our oval. We'll get that ready. And I'm going to do My Heart Belongs to You, which would have been a great one also to do with that last one that we had the hearts with. But I think it's fun to have it on this guy too. Sorry, I put my ink away. I'll go ahead and do a practice stamp. Looks good. Get our heart in this one. Line it up so we can see where our oval is. Perfect. That's what I love about photopolymer, is that we can see right through it. And then I'm going to go rogue here for a minute. I'm going to grab that basic white that we have on the inside, and I'm going to snag this heart right here. I haven't stamped him yet, so we'll see how this is going to turn out. But I think it'll be really cute, especially since my saying that I have, My Heart Belongs to You. There has to be a heart on here. Let's grab a clear block, and I just would place them on there. Easy as pie, right? Remove, take off, put back in my stamp set. Love that. We are going to do a practice one though, because this one has never been inked yet. Okay. Press down. Oh, that is really cool. I love how it has that negative in the inside. Okay. Let's put this in the bottom right corner and see how it turns out. Love it. So fun. Now we have a heart in our card. Okay. Now we can assemble. Grab all of our pieces, including our card base. We'll glue this guy to the inside. Our basic white. I like to use my Stampin' Seal Plus by putting just a little bit in each corner and in the center. Slide it in between the score lines, creating a frame around the whole thing. Nice. Then we're going to add dimensionals. Well, let's glue this guy together first. I think if we glue him in the center, it's easier to do. You could use dimensionals and pop them up as well. You could even put a really cool heart behind this one if you wanted to add extra heart feature to it. I'm going to just use some liquid glue. And we're going to place them in the center as much as I can tell. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now dimensionals, we only want on one side of this rhombus or diamond shape because we don't want to close this and keep it closed forever. So I'm gonna use this line here from corner to corner as a reference of not to go past that. There's an invisible line right there saying don't go between here. Remove those backings, flip it, and place it. So I want this guy to be in the center, like so. Oh, cute. Now we just need to embellish with our flowers. And for this one, instead of glue dots, what I like to do is place the glue directly on the card base where I want my flower, and then I will place it there. Since it is little enough, the tricky part is that that glue goes right through. But it is hard to put glue on the back of such little things, so it's easier to put the glue on the actual thing we're gluing it to. This case is the card base front. Turn the flowers a little bit. Let's see. Press them down so it sticks. And there we go. We'll just need to embellish in the centers. This one I used all just medium antique pearls. For some reason I want to call them vintage, but these are antique pearls. So we'll go center of this one, medium, medium, and medium. These pearls came with everyone's kits who are club members, so that's part of their product they get included. And there you go. Make it close up so you can see this one. My heart belongs to you, and open it up to find a cute little heart. Love, love that one. All right, let's get all the cards back in view so you guys can see them and see the different stamp sets. So let's see if I can remember which goes to which. So there's My Heart Belongs to You. That was part of the Hearts of Elegance. They Love You, Enjoy a Lifetime of Love. And we have our So Happy for You and our Happy Valentine's Day. Then we have our Sending Lots of Love, goes to this side. That was part of our Hearts of Elegance. And then our Wishing You the Best. So there are our fun cards using 2 different stamp sets as an option, but really featuring the link together mask. I hope you guys have had fun learning this set, and be sure to follow me on YouTube for my next videos and to look to see what I'll be making next month, and so you can join the club. Have a great day and happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.